Facebook friends. I hope you are having a great, fantastic week. It is Friday, the end of the week. Yay, you made it. Welcome to Stretch. I'm glad you joined me. Feel free to shoot me any questions or texts that you have, anything you need clarification on. Today we're going to do stretches for the lower body. So I'm going to start with your back and we're going to work our way down. All you need is simply just your mat or a soft, gentle place for you to sit and do these stretches on. So you can use a couple of different pieces of equipment if you'd like. There's really no equipment required. The one thing I would say is make sure you have a place that you can put your hand up against to balance, or it could be a wall, it can be a chair, a counter, what have you. So let's go ahead on into it right now. I'm just in easy pose. I always like to start with thinking about our breath. Whenever you're starting to face situations where you feel like you're a little bit stressed, tensing up, all of our muscles are affected, and that includes your diaphragm. So I want you to think, today I am going to get back to deep breathing. So, pardon me, mornings, when you wake up and there's maybe some tightness in your chest, you're having some allergies, or you're just feeling burdened. Pardon me, this was not the case a minute ago. I don't know what's going on. There you go. Perfect example of needing to take some deep diaphragmatic breaths. All right, so when you take a diaphragmatic breath, I've gone through this pretty much every class. I'm going to keep going through it because we can't emphasize it enough. You are going to take a breath inflating your belly, which is where your diaphragm is located. So the secondary muscles that you've got are your chest muscles. So if you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, I want you to close your eyes and take a very deep breath, being mindful of what is rising first, your chest or your belly. Go ahead with me. Take a deep breath through your nose. We're going to go out through your mouth. Here we go. One more. Okay. If you're finding that your chest is rising more than your belly, it's just a retraining process. So what you're doing is shallow breathing. So when your chest is rising more, you're breathing from the upper portion of your air passages. When you are deep breathing into your diaphragm, you're actually inflating all the diaphragm. It gets the lungs well inflated, and you're actually retraining yourself to breathe the way that you should. So if you've never had chest breathing, that's okay too. All right, so deep breath. Always want you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Here we go. Make sure we can hear those breaths. One more. Okay. Rest your hands on your legs. A couple more deep breaths, thinking about where you're breathing from. Let any tension, any stresses go as you breathe. All right. So the first stretch that I want to take us through, we will get to the back stretches as well. Stretch your legs out in front of you. So you're going to have your toes up, your heels down, your legs straight. Don't lock your knees, but get them straight. You want to reach down your legs as much as you can. If this is as far as you can get, great. Press your chest, your sternum out, and straighten that back. But also you want to pull on those legs so you're stretching those hamstrings. If you can go to your toes, however, grab your toes, pull them up towards you. Again, keep your back as straight as you possibly can. Sternum out, back straight, head in neutral. You want to keep yourself as straight as possible from head to tailbone. Each of these stretches should last 30 seconds or longer. If you find one that's more beneficial for you, do it more often. You can't overdo stretches really unless you go in too fast or out of them too fast. So take your time doing these, and if you feel it working really well, do it more. So this is your hamstrings. We're also involving the calves. The calf structure has two different parts to it. There's the upper one that we tend to feel, that little heart-shaped area in the calf. That's called your gastrocnemius. Then there's the soleus that goes down from the Achilles all the way underneath, and it goes up towards your knee area. So that's two-part structure. When you're pulling your toes, you're getting all of that pretty well, but there is another stretch to get more into that soleus, the lower part of your calf, and we'll go into that in a little bit. So good deep breaths as you're doing this. Keep holding it. Stretch a little bit more as you exhale. A little more into the stretch as you exhale. Great. That's your hamstrings. Let's go ahead and take the feet a little wide. I'm going to scoot back so you got a little better view of where everything's situated. I want you to reach down one leg. Go about not quite 90 degrees with your legs. Reach down one leg. I want you to take and bend your arm over the top of your head. Reach down toward that toe, but your chest is facing forward toward your opposite leg. This is a great stretch for the side areas. All kinds of muscles involved in this one. But you should feel it all down through here to your rear, into the hip, all the way up if you're doing it well. We always want to do one side and then the other. Deep breaths. Relax your face. Don't even realize you're not relaxed there sometimes. Gently come out of this one. Slowly, slowly. If you have any kind of blood pressure problems, you get lightheaded when you're taking your head down, especially pay attention to that. You don't want to take your head down below your heart. Downward dog would not be a great one for you. If you're familiar with that, I am planning to do that a little bit later. Just do your own version. You can modify that however is most comfortable for you, but try and be mindful of your heart going, your heart being above your head. It will make you a little bit dizzy. All right, so we've done the right side. We're gonna go do the left side, or if you're mirroring me, just do your opposite leg. So here we are, stretch down, pull those toes in, reach over with the opposite hand, pull your chest forward toward your opposite leg. You're kind of stretching your hamstring again a little bit. You're really stretching through your side, through your hip, all the obliques, a little bit of lats in there. Good stuff. Thank you, by the way, for all the comments and the love this week. It's been wonderful to hear the feedback. I'd love to hear from you if you've got anything you want to specifically do in the next class. Trying to keep that creativity going and applicable for everyone. So shoot me a text, shoot me a message, whatever. I'd love to hear from you. But thanks for everybody that's doing that at this point. Glad to hear it's helping you and getting you a little more limbered up. Okay, gently come out of that one. All right. Let's go into a butterfly stretch, or cobbler's pose as it's known in yoga. So for this one, you're putting the soles of your feet together. The closer your feet are to your body, the more this stretch deepens. If you feel like it's a tough thing for you to get your feet together, just keep them out a little bit. The big thing is to push your pelvis in and to make sure you're tall. I'm going to pull my legs in here because I need a little bit more stretch. What we're trying to get stretched here primarily is our adductors, the insides of our thighs, and that is a primarily tight muscle area for a lot of our society. So If you have tight hip flexors, you may have some tight adductors. It's good stuff. All right, deep breaths. Close your eyes. We're going to do 2 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Tuck those feet in just a little bit more if you're able. Stretch that back out. The more you press the pelvis forward and chest out, the more you feel this into your adductors. It's one of my favorite stretches. I love it. I hope y'all are enjoying your week so far. It's been quite a trying week, I know, for a lot of our society here in the U.S. It's been a crazy week. One thing that I've realized is that we need to do more deep breathing. We need to do more hugging if we can, socially distanced. I don't know how you're going to do that, but more sharing of our love for each other, because that's so important, and that's how we become united together. All right, slowly coming out of that. I'm going to take us up onto our feet a little bit here, but not too much. So you're going wide with your feet, okay? We've done this before. This is the yogi squat. So toes are forward. Spread out your toes a little bit. You're going down into the squat. Put your hands together. If you can, I like to push out on my knees a little bit with my hands. Chest out. Stretch that back out. Big stretch. This might be hard to hold for 30 seconds for some of you. That's okay. Deep breathe through it. Let that stress come out of your mind. Negativity, let it flow out as you're relaxing into the stretch. A few more seconds, you've got this. Down, press your hips up very slowly. Again, if blood pressure is an issue, be mindful of your head going lower than your heart. I'm going to rotate my body. You can stay where you're at. Let's go down into downward dog. I want to stretch the calves and then back out a little bit. So you're taking your feet apart from your hands. Make your body a bit of a V. Okay? If you can't press your heels down, that's okay. Pedal your feet out. You want to press into each heel that you're able to. You should feel a stretch all the way from your calf to your hamstring and into your back a little bit even. If you can hold it, just hold it, maybe rock a little bit. Get those feet down as flat as you can. Pull my hands a little bit closer so I can push back into my hips a little bit more. Again, if this is bothersome to you because you have high blood pressure, please be mindful of that. Don't do it if it makes you lightheaded. Okay, let's pedal those feet out just a little bit more. Press down into each leg as you pedal out. So you're actually pushing through your hands, keeping your head down and pressing your hips back. There we go. Hold that, a couple deep breaths. All right. Gently coming out of this, I'm going to have you walk your hands toward your feet. You're pressing your hips back, keeping those legs straight. Just hang here for a moment. I'm going to kind of ragdoll. All right, bend your knees. you're still kind of hanging here. We're getting ready to come up, but if you do so, I want you to go so slowly. Imagine coming up one vertebra at a time. So you're slowly bringing yourself up. Pull that pelvis underneath to protect your back. One vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, stretch your chest out, pull your arms back. Oh, I got a little pop. Oh, lovely. All right. From here, I want to do a stretch for the quadratus lumborum. It's way down in your intrinsic core stabilizer muscles. So what you're going to do, we've done this before in prior videos, but I feel it's a very important muscle to hit, so I'm going to have us go through. So what you're doing, take your foot that's closest to your camera, to your screen. Take that foot and put it behind you. I'm doing my right foot behind, which means my right hand is going to be reaching over. So here's what it looks like from the front. Taking my right foot, putting it behind, nice and tall up through here. Usually you can put your hand on either a wall for stabilization, a chair, countertop, what have you. Just make sure if you need that, you have it, okay? Come back over here. All right, right foot is behind, right hand reaches over the top of my head, keeping my body straight and bending over to the side. Once you get that hand reaching far out, you'll feel this really well in those stabilizer muscles. Make sure that your chest is pressed out, so your sternum is facing forward. Once you've got that, you should feel that QL stretching really nicely. Deep breaths. A tight QL can lead to a whole lot of different things. If you feel like you're getting sciatica or you've dealt with sciatica, sometimes releasing that QL can help release some of the discomfort going down through the leg. If you've got questions on that, shoot me a message and I'll be happy to help you. Okay, gently come out of that. Slowly straightening back. Uncross your feet. I'm going to turn around so you can see the opposite direction. And so I can stabilize. Okay, so this one is my left foot going back behind my right. Left hand goes over the top. Bend to the hip. Press the sternum out. Deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more deep breath. Okay, gently come out of that. Coming up nice and tall. Okay. All right, I'm going to put us down on our, oh, actually, no, I'm not. I forgot, we've got to stretch our quads. Okay, use that area that you were at to stabilize the same way you just did. I'm going to have you grab your ankle if you're able to. If you can't, you can grab a chair, a bench, something that you can put your knee on. Step your foot far away from. That knee goes down. If you have a strap, you can put it around your foot or ankle and pull it in. But the idea is to push your hips forward. You press that pelvic area forward, and it takes that stretch all through your quadriceps. A lot of times we'll get this stretch but forget to put the hips forward or don't know to put the hips forward. And we get a part of the quad complex, but not quite all of them. So that's your modification. Keep holding where you're at. This one for me does a little bit better. If you can't quite reach your foot, I like to keep holding that. I like to use this old belt. It's got two little portions you put the belt through. just stick that on my foot, cinch it down, it's super easy to grab, and you can get that stretch even more. So that's an option for you as well. If you don't have that with you, that's okay. Go back and do it later. All right, one final deep breath in this one. Keep those hips pressed forward. If you get any pain in your knee, back out of this. Feel free to shoot me a message if you need something because you are feeling something that you're not familiar with, or pain or discomfort. But if it causes you pain, any numbness or tingling, anytime you're doing a stretch, don't do it. Back out of it and find a substitute, find a modification. All right, let's do the other leg. I just did my right, so now I'm doing my left. Again, grabbing that ankle, pulling that foot up. Also, you want to pull it right behind your rear end. If you're going out with it, you're putting strain on your knee, don't do that. Push your hips forward. Common question I get from a lot of clients and people that I come across is, how can I get flatter abs? I know this sounds a little bit off topic, but it's not. You get flatter abs by eating well, by correcting your posture, and by making sure that those core muscles are able to all activate. It's not just your abs. Your abs are built and strengthened with a strong back and stabilizer muscles. More on that later. Good stuff though. Last deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, release your grip on that, let the foot fall. Okay, come back to your mat here. I'm going to have you come down onto all fours. So you're on your knees and your hands. Okay, toes are just resting down. And I actually need a little more padding under my knees. You can grab a blanket, a pillow, or just double up your mat. I just kind of fold mine over. Okay, so all fours here. Your index fingers should be pointed forward, your thumbs toward each other, and the palms, fingers are outspread, okay? So this is cat-cow. I want you to glance down real quick. Make sure that you have a fist width between your knees and that your toes are pointed back behind you. If they're coming in, pull them out so they're going straight out from your leg. Okay, cat-cow goes, arch your back way up, tuck the pelvis in, tuck your head down, press through your arms into your shoulder blades so you're arching that back way up. Deep breath. Looks like an angry cat. Anyone that's owned a cat or been around a cat has probably seen this pose at some point. Tuck that pelvis in really tight. Stretch that back up toward the ceiling. Okay, gently dip down. You're going in reverse into cow. Head comes up, pelvis goes out in a tilt, back goes down and belly goes toward the floor. You're arching your spinal column. It's a big stretch, but a lot of muscles are working to make this happen. If you find that your shoulders are shrugging up towards your ears, pull them down. Press your sternum out. Shoulders should be down. No strain on the trapezius or neck. Deep breath. All right, push back into child's pose. You're going to sit on your legs. If you can't do that comfortably, you get pain in your knees, take a pillow, put it under your rear, sit on it, but tuck it right up under your knees, behind your knees rather. Okay, stretch out, hands go forward, heads relax down. You should feel your belly inflating on your thighs if you're doing good diaphragmatic breathing. If there's any pain in the shoulders or neck, take your arms down beside you. This is Balasana. Your palms are up or facing in. You can grab the bottoms of your feet if you'd like, but the idea is to relax. Just let your body fall into the pose. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders, your hands, your wrists. If your shoulders are tensed up towards your neck, just relax them down. They should just be kind of hanging there. Right now, I want you to think about all the things you have to be grateful for. I believe that a grateful heart is able to show love a whole lot better than one that's feeling burdened in any kind of way. Two more deep breaths. Inflate the belly against your quads. Out through your mouth. In for 3 in your nose. Out for 3. Gently open your eyes if they were closed. Slowly come out of that. Thank you all for joining me today. Again, any questions, any modifications that you may need, please reach out to me. I'd love to help in any way I can. Keep moving, keep stretching, reward your body if you're doing a lot more workout because you're realizing, I haven't been moving, and all of a sudden you start moving. That's fantastic. Congratulations, great decision. But make sure you reward your body with stretching those muscles so they come back to the length they ought to be after contracting so hard. Like I said, it's a blessing to be here. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.